It was a Friday evening, one of those nights where I felt a flicker of hope that maybe, just maybe, things could feel right again. I left work earlier than usual, thinking that coming home a little sooner, surprising her with a quiet evening together, might help bridge the growing distance between us. For months, I had felt the space widen. Subtle at first, easy to dismiss as stress, routine, the weight of life pressing down on both of us. But deep inside, I knew something had shifted. I just kept telling myself it was temporary. When I pulled into the driveway and saw her car parked there, a small smile tugged at my lips. It felt like a good sign, like maybe she, too, had chosen home over everything else that night. I grabbed my bag, climbed the steps of our porch, and walked to the front door, the same door I'd passed through 1,000 times before. But this time, something felt different. The house was quiet, too quiet. No TV murmuring in the background, no soft music playing, no sound of her voice filling the space. Just silence. I didn't call out to her. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't want to interrupt whatever she was doing. Or maybe, if I'm honest, something in me hesitated, something that sensed what I was about to find. I slipped off my shoes and made my way down the hallway, each step heavier than the last. I reached for the bedroom door, turned the knob, and opened it like I always did. And in that single breath, my world changed. There she was, sitting on the edge of our bed, facing a man I had never seen before. He was younger than me, polished, comfortable, like he belonged there. Their knees were almost touching, her hand resting on the bed between them. Too close, too familiar. The moment the door opened, she sprang up, startled, as if caught in a fire. He froze, wide-eyed, tried to place who I was and what was happening. For a few long seconds, none of us spoke. The house, the city, the world outside, all of it went silent. The only sound was a hammering of my heart in my chest, so loud I thought they might hear it too. When I finally found my voice, it came out low, cold, stripped of any strength. "Who is he?" I asked, my words trembling on the edge of disbelief. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. And then she whispered a line that only deepened the wound. "It's not what it looks like." I laughed, but it wasn't the kind of laugh that eases tension. It was hollow, bitter, the sound of a man realizing just how blind he'd been. I looked at him, then back at her. "How long has this been happening?" My voice wasn't angry. It was tired, emptied out by the weight of betrayal. She couldn't look at me. Her eyes fell to the floor, and that silence, that refusal to meet my gaze, told me everything I needed to know. "I trusted you," I said quietly, not accusing, not demanding, just stating what subtly felt like the greatest mistake of my life. The man opened his mouth, maybe to explain, maybe to apologize. I didn't care. I raised a hand to stop him before a single word could escape. I didn't want his voice in my memory. I stepped back, out of the room, out of that scene that would replay in my mind whether I wanted it to or not. She called my name, desperate, but I didn't stop. I walked out of the house, down the steps, and into my car. I drove without knowing where I was going, just away. I ended up at my friend Daniel's place. He opened the door, saw my face, and didn't ask a single question. He just let me in, and I sat on his couch in a silence that said more than words ever could. When the morning came, I woke to a phone flooded with her messages. Apologies. Excuses. Please. She said it wasn't serious. That it was a mistake. That she loved me. But how could someone who loves you betray you in the very room where you once held each other, made promises, dreamed together? I didn't answer. Not that day. Not the next. Days blurred into weeks. And I stayed gone, trying to remember who I was before I gave so much of myself to someone who could break me so carelessly. The messages eventually stopped. Mutual friends told me she was filled with regret, that she wanted to fix it, that she was sorry. But by then, I'd already made peace with my choice. I wasn't going to go back. I couldn't unsee what I had seen, couldn't rebuild on top of the ruins of my trust. That single moment, those 5 seconds when I opened the door, ripped away the curtain on a truth I hadn't wanted to face. It hurt more than anything I'd ever felt. But in that pain, I found something I hadn't expected: clarity. And sometimes, Clarity is worth more than all the years you spend in the dark.